Hello, welcome to our new and improved podcast, LodeStar's Full Disclosure. Jim Paolino, co-founder and CEO of LodeStar, joined with Elena Gardner, our director of revenue. We want to make this bigger, better, and slightly more disjointed, I guess, than we have in the past. So welcome to our new look, both in terms of content and overall background here. Are we ready for Jim's book club?
Let's do it. Jim has a book. Jim, what's your book?
So my book is The 12-Week Year by Brian P. Moran. I read this book about a year ago. These aren't all going to be recent reads, but these are going to be books that I have found impactful either personally or professionally. Really, really love this book. I forgot where I heard about it, but basically it says here, get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. So it's all about goal setting. And instead of doing annual goals or even every 6-month goals like we used to, the book basically says quarterly goals, 12 weeks, breaks them down. So that means every week becomes a month and every day becomes a week or either way. So like you're tracking something every day.
Yes.
Right, that you're doing towards that. So I have been given feedback at the company that I need to cool it with implementing things from books. So I did not wholeheartedly implement this at the company, but what it does, I've used it to great success personally with kind of fitness and weight loss, and really enjoy kind of the ability to kind of drive change in that period. I'm on my 4th 12-week year right now.
You've done it for almost a full year.
Yeah, I have.
That's how
And
you know it's impactful.
the change that we made LodeStar wise is we did shift to the 12-week goal setting time frame. That was the major tweak from this book. And I feel like that has helped us a lot because we're able to change goals faster, because quite frankly, if you have annual or 6-month goals, all too often something changes in that time frame. And just with the pace of change in the industry, the amount of growth we're having, I have felt that us being able to have quarterly goals and communicate them to the whole company has allowed us to get our together, quite frankly, and be like a lot more organized. I'm impressed at what your department's done, what every department is doing every month, every quarter, talking about them. So this is one that I recommend a lot for goal setting. And it's been really impactful both with me personally and kind of how we go about goal setting here at LodeStar.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And I think in the essence of full disclosure, I need to share a brief story about Jim's books habits. The reason he said I had to cool my jets with books is there was a brief period of time that was maybe like 3 months, 4 months in span, that I think I received like somewhere between 6 and 10 books from you.
It might have been like 4 or 5.
It felt aggressive.
Yeah.
Or like you'd be like, you wouldn't hand me the book, but you'd be like, but I'm reading this great book with this great principle, and like everyone should read it. And I'd be like, I cannot take one more book. And I think it's great. And then this past year, Jim gave us all fake books.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. With candy in them.
With candy and like lotto tickets in them for Christmas.
Yeah.
But there was a brief moment where I was
groaned audibly, and I was really excited about that. It was mission accomplished.
I did groan audibly when he handed me a book. I think I have read about half the books you gave me at this point, but it took me a whole year after, because also if you're not like super in, or for me at least, I have to be like super in the mood for like self-help professional books, because like they're dry. I'm not going to lie. I think they're a little dry. So
here's the thing. Generally, 90% of my book reading is audiobook listening.
Yes.
I'm doing chores around the house. I'm driving. That's when the easiest time for me is to read and consume books. So generally, if I have a book I really like, I then buy a few copies and give it to people, or keep some. We're recently building the LodeStar library that I'm really excited about, with all of the assorted business books that we have throughout the office. So you'll be seeing more from that coming up. And the thing that I got specific feedback on is I'm the type of excitable person that'll read a book, and then a good business book, I'll say, okay, this is wrong. I need to change everything. Right. And you can only really do that so many times for people to still listen to you. So our co-founder, David Spector, was very pointed around the time I had read this book a year ago, of like, Jim, people are going to stop listening if you keep changing things so rapidly. So what I try to do now is take elements of each book and implement them and slowly improve. So that's why the main element I took from this book was the 12-week time frame, which I think is great for the business. And then I do stuff for whatever I want personally with that. And if people think I'm a psycho for that, that's fine. So
I think it says a lot about the book though that you're still doing it a year later.
yeah, no, I'm
Like,
going to keep doing it. It's what it's been really helpful with personally is it's a great way of turning kind of habits into things you do automatically. Right? Like there's things that I used to track during previous 12 weeks about number of steps in a day or how I'm eating or things like that, number of workouts. And I don't do that anymore because they become automatic. So I heard from a recent speaker um, was listening to of if you suck at something, track it. And I've kind of been taking that to heart in this mindset. And you're scoring yourself. You can have scores every week. And it's a good way of kind of tracking progress. So very excited to talk about this and Jim's book club. I already looked at my shelves and I have like 5 more that I think we're going to be showing. So this was a good introduction to it.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Jim. What if we just end it with a bunch of us spoofing on the full disclosure tagline? Full disclosure, we talk mostly about mortgage.